1690 WVON.
The Audio Genius.
Get in on the conversation with Rufus Williams and the Morning Show at 591-1690. We are the talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
Good morning, and finally it is Friday. Welcome to the Rufus Williams Show. It is the 24th of April, the year 2026. I am so pleased, thrilled, and excited to be here with you as always, and man, thank God it's Friday. And thank you all so much for waking up with Rufus. I'm here, Net's here, Titus is here, Mamie is here, BJ is here. It means it's time to go. Titus, how'd you like the draft last night?
It was a bit surprising, I'm not going to lie. I liked the pick that they made, but I definitely thought they were trading the pick to try to get more picks in the future. So I'm not mad at the move at all. They needed that position. It was a valuable need that they had. They lost a lot of their safeties and cornerbacks this offseason. So I think it was the right move.
All right, so as you take the draft and you take all that's happened since the Bears season ended, is it going to be as good as it was last year?
I'm sorry about that, Rufus. Say that one more time.
Is next season going to be as good as last season was?
See, that's the hard part. I would probably say, realistically, I'm not sure. Because I'm going to say yes as a fan, but the problem is that when you're knowing sports and football and you know how hard it is to dominate in football, people expect your game. So it's a new roster, new team. You got to have new ideas, basically. And so it's kind of hard to repeat the success you had last year with a new program, and then everybody knows what to expect from you. Because remember, the Bears were on nobody's radar to do what they did last year. And so going into this season now, with that being the expectation that, you can't let your foot off their necks because they can come back and win the game, I think that's going to be a lot harder to do.
Yeah, so for all Bears fans, manage your expectations. It's not going to be as great. Titus, I'm sure you and Rico Suave will discuss it tonight. The Cubs have won 9 in a row.
Yeah, he's definitely happy about that. He called me. But the Sox won. They beat Arizona Diamondbacks yesterday. So, hey, both on the winning streak.
All right, so finally there's that. And Annette, there's a lot of change that's about to happen, and it's not good in the media space. It appears that Warner Brothers Discovery, they've cleared the way to join forces with Paramount Skydance, which means, and all it needs is approval from the regulators, which they're going to get. So the landscape of media is about to change dramatically.
Yeah, these are those big money merger type deals that affect, industry across the board. And, we've seen it happen, with Murdoch, back in the day, and, the whole Fox rearrangement. And so, these are those, what is it, $110 billion transaction? It's just a huge money deal. And, it is a historic transition.
Yeah, and I'm just concerned because given that this is Paramount Skydance, which wasn't a whole lot before, is owned by the son of Larry Ellison, who was a huge Trump supporter, who now they've got control over CBS and many other networks, which you've seen what's happened there. They've now clearly don't like CNN and what takes place there. So just to think about all of these media, all these things that come into the minds and the hearts and the eyes, brains of people controlled by one entity is just concerning. It's going to make our work that much more important going forward, because someplace people are going to have some way to get good, reliable, objective information, and we're going to be more important in doing that.
That's so true. And, and even like in this landscape that things have stretched so far, because we have streaming platforms you can include in that, and cable channels like CNN, as you mentioned. So it's big.
Indeed. So hold on, folks, but we'll do the best we can in the meantime. let's talk about some good stuff. Been some changes going on in lung cancer treatment. The lung cancer treatment is undergoing a quiet but meaningful shift. In some patients, it's turning long, exhausting treatment days into something that's far more manageable. We have joining us this morning oncologist Dr. Coral Olazagasti to help us break down how sub-Q works. And along with Dr. Olazagasti is Stephanie Williams, who's lived the experience as a patient and a former registered nurse. Dr. Olazagasti and Stephanie, good morning and welcome to WVON.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having us. We're very excited to be here today.
Yes,
Notice,
good morning.
it's good to have you both. And Steph, it's good to hear you sounding so bright as well, recognizing what...
Happy to be here.
Yeah, this is good. Doc, why don't we begin here? Talk to us about where we stand, where lung cancer fits in the whole spectrum of
Yeah, I think it's an exciting time, right, to be a lung cancer specialist. I think years ago and decades ago, lung cancer was really almost like a death sentence. People used to die quickly, but now as the years go by, there's been so many discoveries, one of them being subcutaneous injections that really are making and helping patients live longer. And so there's definitely hope in the scope for lung cancer.
Indeed. So talk to us about sub-Q, what it is and why it matters.
Yeah, so sub-Q stands for subcutaneous. So most of the treatments for cancer are giving it IV. And so where you need to get a catheter or a sample through your IV, and then you get an injection that then ultimately goes in through your system. With subcutaneous, we bypass really that IV process, and the injection goes straight into your skin. So think about like a flu shot, but the flu shot is even more painful because it goes into your muscle. For sub-Q, the needle is much smaller and goes straight into your fatty skin. So anywhere where you have a lot of fat, like your arms or your belly or even your thighs. And so ultimately, you just give that small injection and then you're free to go.
So how does it then work once the medication enters the body?
So once the medication is injected straight into your body, it ultimately gets absorbed into your bloodstream and then distributed all throughout your body.
Interesting. Stephanie, why don't you talk to us? What was your lung cancer diagnosis and how did you learn about sub-Q?
I was diagnosed about 5 years ago. I was 37 years old and I'd been experiencing a persistent cough. Luckily, I had an appointment coming up with my doctor, and at that appointment, we got a chest x-ray. And sometimes I say the rest is history after that chest x-ray because that's where we saw the mass in my lung. I was ultimately diagnosed with stage 2 non-small cell lung cancer. I had surgery, I had chemotherapy. Now I'm on a targeted therapy drug. But during my chemotherapy treatment, I also received sub-Q medication alongside that chemo. I was familiar with sub-Q from working as a nurse. I had given many sub-Q injections myself. So that familiarity helped me be a lot more comfortable with the whole idea.
Fantastic. We need to take a quick break. We're talking with Dr. Coral Olazagasti. She's going to be Dr. O from now on. She is an MD medical oncologist, and Stephanie Williams, who's living with lung cancer. We'll have more with them right after this.
WVON turned 63 years young in April, and we're celebrating all month long.
Well, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Ooh, wee.
Join us for WVON Night at the Black Ensemble Theater on Friday, April 24th, for the return of the award-winning play, The Jackie Wilson Story. This electrifying production will have you singing and dancing in the aisles as the Black Ensemble brings this musical legend to life. His voice, his moves, his music. It changed everything, from Jackie Wilson's Lonely Teardrops
Lonely teardrops.
to Higher and Higher. It's more than a musical. It's a theatrical experience. Join WVON's afternoon personalities, Atiwa Buchanan, and me, LaDonna Ray, as we host WVON Night at the Black Ensemble Theater, 4450 North Clark, Friday, April 24th.
Get your tickets now at blackensembletheater.org or click the Black Ensemble banner at WVON.com.
WVON is 63 and still having fun.
it's D.L. Hughley.
Nick Cannon's logic is as weak as his okay. Everybody fucking knew that Republicans freed the slaves. Everybody knew it. The last time they did something for black people was 163 years ago. You got to update your resume. Have a 5-year gap on your resume and see if it's valid. When Republicans did that, Hawaii wasn't a state. If you're going to talk about the greatest of a policy that helped black people out, it should at least be sometime after the fucking moon landing.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundled your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Inbound Ryan, heavy and slow early this morning. You're already looking at 30 minutes from 95th Street into downtown. You do want to factor in a stall right now. It is off to the side at 18th Street. As you make your way along the Bishop Ford, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, DuSable Lakeshore Drive, things are not terrible right now. The inbound side of the Stevenson, a 40-minute trip in from I-355 to DuSable Drive outbound, just about 30. The Eisenhower, 50 in from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, that outbound trip at 40. And the Kennedy, not too bad either. 33 minutes in from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the airport right now is a 35-minute trip. Taking a look at our weather, a little hazy, a little humid. The National Weather Service says we could see some clouds today and storms. Temperatures are expected to top out somewhere around 72. Right now, we're already up to 68 at O'Hare, is 68 in South Holland, and 68 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
I continue our conversation with Dr. Olazagasti, Dr. O, who's a medical oncologist with Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center at the University of Miami Miller School of Medicine, and Stephanie Williams, a nurse who's also living with lung cancer. I want to come back to you, Dr. O, and talk about, with SubQ, what was the problem that this was designed to solve for lung cancer patients?
Yes, I think mainly what we want to provide our patients is with more satisfaction. So we have the perfect example here with Stephanie, right? She was diagnosed very young. She was a mother, had a family. And so by providing an option such as SubQ, we're really cutting down the hours where a patient has to stay in the infusion center in that chair and go from hours into a few minutes of really infusion. And so mainly quality of life. These patients are already going through a lot of burden, mental health, not being able to work if they spend the whole day in a chair getting IV infusions. And so by bypassing some of the things and mitigating and canceling some of these barriers with a quick subcutaneous infusion, then we can bring them back a little bit of their normal life and a lot of their satisfaction. And I think that's our priority, right, for our patients.
So, Stephanie, from your standpoint, then, what changed for you physically and emotionally in this process?
Well,
Well, going through any cancer treatment really wears on a person, not just mentally, but logistically. You're calling on your support systems to help with transportation, to help with childcare. So when you can get something that is quick and doesn't require a lot of figuring to get it done, it's a big help. I also like that I don't have to spend quite as much time in a clinical setting. As a cancer patient, I'm constantly trying not to get sick. So the farther I can stay away from a hospital or clinic, the better.
So when you're thinking about the message that you might give to other lung cancer patients about sub-Q, what would that be?
My message would be to have a conversation with your doctor. Ask your doctor if sub-Q could be an option for your treatment plan.
Great. And Dr. O, let me just finally ask you, can you talk about the outcomes that come from this? Because I know dealing with cancer is really difficult, and we try to keep people comfortable, try to keep them healthy. Talk about the outcomes and what this might be from this kind of an action.
Yeah, I think lung cancer today has become a very treatable cancer. I think there's a lot of options for treatment, and having just an additional option in our back pocket to offer patients that is not only effective, but it's also going to give them time back and also open up time for other patients to be able to get more treatment is something that we're really happy about and beneficial. Lung cancer, it's not the same as it was before. Even last year, 11 different regimens were approved for patients with lung cancer. So we just want to keep the message that there is hope and that it's not what it used to be before. And we have a lot of things in the pipeline coming up as well.
That hope is so important when we're dealing with these things. I'm sure Stephanie can attest to that more than anyone else, but really pushing and watching and knowing that there is possibilities is really great. And all the advancements in cancer treatment over the years really shows that putting money and science behind something so critical has really been good. So thank you for the work that you do in this space. Stephanie, thank you so much for coming on and being so open about your story. And I just love your spirit and the entire thing.
And if anyone would like more information, they can go to lcfamerica.org and learn more there. Thank you.
Thank you both. lcfamerica.org is where to go. Thank you both. Be well.
You too.
All right. Titus, let me come back to you. We talked football, a little bit of baseball. There was some basketball being played as well last night. These games are getting kind of good, even this early in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Atlanta Hawks, to my surprise, are now up 2-1. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that? Certainly not the folks in New York who were hoping that this was going to be their year. Not to say that it's not, but it's just not going to be easy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Any given Sunday. I love that CJ McCollum is finally in the playoffs. He hasn't been in the playoffs in almost, at least 6 years now. So it's great to see him playing ball and doing his thing. It's great to see Atlanta playing ball and all the celebrities coming out last night to support their team. And I love it that they're giving it to the Knicks. So that makes it even better.
Yeah, now you got a whole celebrity thing. Thanks for pointing that out, because you get all the folks showing up in New York. Well, Atlanta says we got some too, and so they showed up at the game as well. And it was just this is going to be fun to watch. And speaking of CJ McCollum, because he is now being he's the Knicks slayer these last two games. They tried to make him the villain. He said, "I'm not the villain. I got a wife and 2 kids."
Right, exactly. New York's going to find somebody to blame.
So this is going to be fun. Hopeful that Wemby's going to be back and be okay. I mean, to fall, hit his face from 7 feet 6 inches, 7 feet 4 inches above that hard is really tough. So he's in concussion protocol.
Yes, absolutely. They're looking to try to get him back by the beginning of next week, so like maybe early Monday, Tuesday, to see if he can come back for the next game. But I mean, concussions, it's one of those touch and go things. It usually takes a week or so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's I mean, the things when the brain starts to move around is just challenging, and usually they have some way of they'll sprain a wrist or something to salvage themselves from the fall. This one, he was just out there and nothing he could do. And it's just kind of hard to watch, but certainly hope he's young enough and youth is on his side. So hopefully he'll be okay coming back from that. The team still played pretty well without him, even after watching that. So look out for the Spurs.
Oh, absolutely. And then yesterday, the Timberwolves took a 2-1 lead as well. And so Anthony Edwards came in. He's been balling. The Nuggets look kind of lost right now. That was my dark horse team to go to the NBA Finals. Like you said, it's still early, but it's not looking good.
You know what? You might not like all the decisions he makes off the court, but he's got $1 million smile, and the boy can play some basketball.
Somebody commented when he was playing with sports with Obama. One of the first comments I saw in the video was, he's that bad nephew that you just love all the time.
Does bad things, but you just got to hug him because he's that guy.
Exactly.
He's that guy. Look, let's find out from Annette what's going on in the news. When we come back, it's Friday at 7:30. It's time for the 411 with Candace McCollum. We'll be back right after this.
68 degrees. Grab your umbrella. We could see some showers today. I'm Annette Flurnoy, and here's what's happening. Chicago leaders are set for a major groundbreaking ceremony later today for the Southside CTA Red Line expansion project. The $5.7 billion project will extend the Red Line train from 95th to 130th Street, giving riders on the far south side faster connection to the city, as well as more investment for the far south side. The ceremony starts at 12:30 at 115th in Michigan. Well, there were some scary moments for passengers on CTH Yellow Line when there was a train derailment. Perry Williams reports.
No one was hurt, but several passengers were inconvenienced during the afternoon rush.
Someone told us that it was completely shut down for mechanical issues, so we had to take the shuttle bus to get all the way here. We're having a tough time trying to find our way home. It's been a very long day, and we just want to get home.
Rail service was suspended on the yellow and purple lines, as well as the red line between the Howard and Thorndale stations. It's still not clear what caused the train to come off the tracks. I'm Perry Williams.
There's a lot of excitement around the Chicago Bears. They nabbed Indiana native Dylan Thiemann in the first round of the NFL draft. He's considered to be a critical piece in an already stellar team. GM Ryan Poles is pleased with the Oregon safety.
He's extremely smart, great leader, violent in the way that he plays the game, everything that we're looking for. Then on top of that, you have some versatility. If he has to, he can go over and play a little bit of nickel. He can play free, he can play strong.
Now, the Bears haven't drafted a safety in the first round since 1990. They have 3 more picks in draft day 2 tonight. And you don't want to miss WVON's night at the Jackie Wilson Story this evening at the Black Ensemble Theater, 4450 North Clark Street. This outstanding history-making production delivers a soulful tribute to Mr. Excitement. Now, that's a look at our news now. On 1690 WVON, traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 7:33.
It's Matt McGill.
Matt, we did want to give you a little how do you do today. I'm from McGuire. How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do? How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do? You may think you're upper class, but you're just the horses. How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do?
Thank you, guys.
McGuire, you're welcome.
Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Thank you, Barack and Michelle Obama, for bringing your gift to the world home to Chicago. The Obama Presidential Center, coming Juneteenth weekend. Witness a celebration of the power of hope and possibility. We're WVON.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris-Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there. WVON.
Hi, this is Jill Ross, creator and producer of the Chicago Read-In. I'm excited to join WVON for this cultural experience that is designed to excite and stimulate the minds of young people ages 6 to 16. Join us Saturday, April 25th at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, 4701 South King Drive at 12 noon for an amazing show that will keep young people and their parents on the edges of their seats. From dance to music to mime to art to rich creative storytelling, there is literally no program like the one we've put together that offers a cultural lens while igniting the minds of young people. The Chicago Read-In is free, but you must register at Eventbrite or WVON.com. We'll see you Saturday, April 25th. The Chicago Read-In is produced in conjunction with Vine TV series Turn the Page, which premieres this summer.
The Chicago Read-In is powered by ComEd.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
There are a lot of vehicles on the roadway right now. You're looking at almost a 40-minute trip on the Ryan end from 95th Street into downtown. Still so far so good along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. Things are beginning to pick up along DeSable Lakeshore Drive, 15 minutes from 67th Street to Jackson. Also about a 15-minute trip from Hollywood to Monroe. The Stevenson just bumped up to 45 minutes in from I-355 to DeSable Drive, 40 traveling out. The inbound side of the Eisenhower also heavier, 53 minutes from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. You want to factor in an accident. It is blocking the left lane at Manheim Road. That outbound trip still just about a 40-minute trip. If you're on the Kennedy, you're looking at 33 still and from O'Hare to downtown, now getting to the airport, a 36-minute trip. Taking a look at our weather, National Weather Service says we're likely to see rain later today, so you might want to grab your umbrella. Pretty cloudy, temperatures headed to a daytime high of around 72. We're already up to 68 at O'Hare, it's 68 in Woodlawn, and 68 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON is all about family. That's why Jill Ross of the Shenanigans series is back, bringing literacy to life for young people ages 6 to 16. It's the Chicago Read-In, Saturday, April 25th at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, 4701 South King Drive. The Chicago Read-In is designed to excite and stimulate the minds of young people by promoting the power of literacy and storytelling. It's an afternoon of live performances, including hip-hop ballet from Homer Bryant's Hiplex Ballet Troupe, fresh off Broadway as Simba in The Lion King. It's Chicago's own A.J. Rhodes Jr. Enjoy spoken word by Logan Liu, blues by Fernando Jones, and get a history lesson on Maxwell Street from actress Dawn Bless. There'll be tap, mimes, sculptors, black cowboys. We're bringing our history to life for the next generation. You can also meet authors, purchase books, and connect to other child-friendly resources. The Chicago Read-In is a family affair and it's free, but registration is required. Register at Eventbrite or at WVON.com. The Chicago Read-In, Saturday, April 25th at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, 4701 South King Drive. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the show starts at 12 noon sharp. We're celebrating literacy, celebrating young people, celebrating our culture on the station that celebrates Black excellence, WVON. The Chicago Read-In is produced in conjunction with Vaughn TV's upcoming series, Turn the Page, coming to Vaughn TV this summer.
The Chicago Read-In is powered by ComEd.
Now back to the morning show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Now the latest gumdrops, jelly beans. Brothers beg for the legs. She's on the cheerleading team. It feels wicked. Every time I stick it, that's right when we're alone. She never ever asks for life. Hey, yo, she blows me kisses. She does my dishes. I wish the bus too, and she grants my wishes. She's clever in bed. She uses her head.
But she's the kind of girl that keeps the fat man well fed.
Right all night. The chick's out of sight. I broke my lampshade in half because I don't use a light, man. She's juicy like a berry. Chocolate with a cherry.
She is good. I'd have to say very. Never leave her for nothing. Only a crazy man would. That's why I have to tell you that I feel good. Woo! About Candy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday. It is 7:40, which means it is time for the 411 with our very own Candace McCollum. C. Mac, good morning and take it away.
Good morning, the Williams brothers, the Real Crew. How are you both doing?
Couldn't be better.
Happy Friday. I'm happy. It's all good.
TGIF. Now, you know today is the big day. Michael Jackson movie is out.
Have you seen it?
I have not, but we got to talk about our favorite Michael songs. And of course, I want to hear from the listeners as well. What their favorite Michael Jackson songs are. I'm going to have to say this is an underrated Michael Jackson song, but when it comes on in my car on my playlist, I'm in the car dancing. I don't care who sees it, but keep it in the closet. Y'all, that's an underrated song. It is so good by Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know that one. That sounds like an R. Kelly song, but okay, we'll take it.
Oh, Rufus, you got to go. Okay, Rufus, come on now.
Just saying, that's what came to mind immediately.
So it was the song where he had Naomi Campbell in the video.
Okay.
And so when videos were big back in the day, especially on MTV, because it was a black and white video, and Naomi Campbell is beautiful, and they were dancing together, so it always just stood out to me.
You say that, Candace, and if you recall, it was Michael Jackson and Michael Jackson's video that made MTV hum. That was the very first one.
Yeah. So okay, let's go circle. What's your favorite Michael songs?
So I first obviously grew up in the Jackson 5 era. So I Want You Back was their first song, and it's hard for me not to see that and separate that, because even though it was a family, Michael stood out, and he always did. But having a favorite Michael Jackson song is kind of difficult, because it's probably the favorite Michael Jackson song is the last one you thought about. But I do believe also I really like Man in the Mirror. I thought he really did gave us some things to think about with that song. And I don't know how not to like Thriller, and then you love Billie Jean because the dance. The last song you think of with Michael Jackson is a favorite song.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's too many to pick, but yeah.
It's too much too much. And Michael, I'll tell you, Titus loves Michael Jackson because he plays him all the time in the morning. So Titus, what's your answer?
I'm gonna go with Beat It. I love that song. I just remember being a little kid with the red jacket. I had a red leather jacket back in the day, and I remember watching the music video trying to replicate the dance, even though I have no rhythm. I remember my mom just making fun of me, talking about, boy, you gonna keep trying till you get it. I'm like, you're right. I'm like, it's just so cool. And so, just his music overall is just great. I mean, there's not a song that you can't say that you, like you said, Rufus, that the last song you heard, it by heart. And it's just one of those things where his legacy truly lives on, because I remember when he passed away, my 5-year-old nieces were crying like it was a family member or something. And now they listen to his music all the time. They're in their early 20s now. And then the next generation of my sister's kids, that's teenagers now, love Michael Jackson. So it's just one of those things where he literally transcends time. So I mean, but Beat It is definitely my favorite. But just seeing them love his music too as well, it's just awesome.
Yes, it's so much. Renee says she saw the movie on Wednesday night and it was fabulous. The time just flew by. That both the actors playing him were just absolutely exceptional.
I heard it was a thriller.
No, you did not. You and Rufus, boy, y'all on a roll this morning. I love
Yes, indeed. We'll be here all week, folks.
But no, I've heard great comments and feedback about the movie. I've heard a couple people say it's the best movie that they've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
So I'm excited. I probably will go see it sometime this weekend with mom and dad because
That's what you do. I ain't hating. I'm not hating. I'm just saying I think that's a beautiful thing. So of course you will. See it sooner after its debut than you did with Sinners, Candace. That was just bad.
I'm not going to wait a year and a half.
Thank you.
So our first video that we are going to play is of Black Excellence, and it is of our very own Melody Span Cooper. So we did talk about a month ago the award that she received, the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
So the Chicago Defender actually last week posted the video where they're highlighting her, and then they highlight some of her speech. So Titus, take it away.
First of all, I want to say thank you to Chicago Defender and so minded with the organizations in telling essential stories about us. I never do this announcements. Two great men in my life here, of course, the other one. I'm standing here because of my father's shoulders. But tonight I'm not here to talk about what my father meant to me. A sense of community. My parents taught me excellence and how to get it. They broke it down into three categories: my gifts, my talents, and the other one they told me to win. It's just some stuff you don't need because you don't know what. Excellence is a practice. Excellence is the total, and excellence is not. So I accept this award with gratitude, but not as a finish line. For what I'll continue to do. My work is not done. Your grace, your significance, and your journey story has to be shared. And remember, Lifetime Achievement Award is not given. Thank you.
All right, that's almost worse audio than I do, but I'm sure it was a phenomenal speech that she gave. Let's do this. Let's take our break. We'll continue with the 411 with Candace when we come back after this.
WVON turned 63 years young in April, and we're celebrating all month long.
Well, look at that, ooh-wee.
Join us for WVON Night at the Black Ensemble Theater on Friday, April 24th for the return of the award-winning play, The Jackie Wilson Story. This electrifying production will have you singing and dancing in the aisles as the Black Ensemble brings this musical legend to life. His voice, his moves, his music, it changed everything from Jackie Wilson's Lonely Teardrops to Higher and Higher. It's more than a musical. It's a theatrical experience. Join the afternoon show's personalities, that be me, Atiba Buchanan, and LaDonna Ray, as we host WVON Night at the Black Ensemble Theater, 4450 North Clark, Friday, April 24th.
Get your tickets now at blackensembletheater.org or click the Black Ensemble banner at WVON.com.
WVON is 63 and still having fun.
It's DL Hughley.
Nick Cannon's logic is as weak as his okay. Everybody fucking knew that Republicans freed the slaves. Everybody knew it. The last time he did something for black people was 163 years ago. You got to update your resume. Have a 5-year gap on your resume and see if it's valid. When Republicans did that, Hawaii wasn't a state. If you're going to talk about the greatest of a policy that helped black people out, it should at least be sometime after the fucking moon landing.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. It's time to focus with Robert McKay. Quality conversation, protecting, preserving, and preparing our past, present, and future. Sunday evenings at 4 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Beauty is more than style, it's a story, and now you get to hear it straight from the source. Solo Beauty Supply presents the Hair Tour radio show, coming to WVON Saturdays beginning May 2nd at 2 p.m. From Chicago to the West Coast, top salon owners pull back the curtain on the business, the culture, and the grind behind the chair. From building brands to shaping communities, this is where beauty meets boss moves. Tune in, tap in, and take notes. The Hair Tour radio show, Saturdays beginning May 2nd at 2 p.m. only on WVON.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Inbound Ryan, extremely heavy and moving along at a 40-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. As you make your way along the Bishop 4 inbound from I-8094 to the Ryan, still close to the posted speed. However, on that outbound trip, you do want to look out for an accident at Doty. If you're on Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, things are looking pretty good there as well. Inbound, outbound, we are seeing an accident at Volmer Road. Along DuSable Lakeshore Drive, that trip from 67th Street to Jackson just bumped up to 16 minutes. Hollywood to Monroe, a 17-minute trip now. The Stevenson, almost 50, and from I-355 to DuSable Drive, outbound still just about 40. The inbound side of the Eisenhower, still now about a 55-minute trip from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. You still want to factor in that earlier accident at Mannheim. Apparently, it was a car into a wall. Outbound along the Eisenhower, now a 50-minute trip. The Kennedy, 35 in from O'Hare to downtown, getting to the airport, still just about 36 minutes. Cloudy skies, grab the umbrella. The National Weather Service says we are very likely to see rain later today. Temperatures right now still hovering in the upper 60s. It's 68 at Midway, 68 in Olympia Fields, and 68 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Get it, Rufus. Come on now.
I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to let it roll. You know, Terry Bishop, who promotes us, says his favorite song is Thriller, and he throws in Dirty Diana. Is that a Michael Jackson song, Dirty Diana?
Yes.
Okay. I need to pay more attention to Michael Jackson.
You didn't know about keeping it in the closet?
I need to pay more attention to my main man from Gary, Indiana. Let's do this because Brother Lee's on the line. He's also got some thoughts on Michael Jackson. Brother Lee, good morning and welcome to VON. What's on your mind this morning?
Hey, what's going on, guys? So listen, I had a tie. I was telling Brother Titus, my tie is going to be right now in this day and age, you want to be starting something, right?
Yeah.
You want to be starting something, has some serious lines in it. I was telling my daughter, she about to have a birthday, 25 years. I said, okay, on this quarter of your life, I want to introduce you to a Michael Jackson song. She was like, Dad, this song sounds like he's talking about right now today. So that was kind of funny, hearing the symbolism. And then my all-time favorite is Human Nature. My daughter, she tries to hum Jackson up like me, too. So, you know, Michael just got so many. We can go down the line of endless hits. It's at least one hit on every album that you can find yourself at least humming every word. If you can't sing every word, you go hum every word. My question, Brother Rufus, this CPS thing coming up, is this a good idea? I'm getting a lot of mixed opinions with the protest thing being allowed to go downtown. What you think about that?
You mean on May Day?
Yeah.
The May 1st? All right, Lee. See, you notice I said nothing about that all week long. I tried to stay out of it. Here you go, bringing me in.
Okay, Hey, look, I'll call next week. Let's keep the Michael Jackson thing.
Yeah, if it comes up, I'm happy to talk about it. Let's do that next week. Let's stay up. Let's stay up for now. But
I don't want to get the brigade on you and fill your emails up, bro, Rufus.
I
So
don't
look,
mind. I don't mind it, man. I just speak my truth as I see it. I'll tell you, this is honestly what I think on that. I think one, everybody knows how the calendars get put together for the school year. The fact that this was going to be May 1st is no surprise to anyone. So if this was thought to have been a good idea, then it should have been included in the calendar and done as everything and been have had the right discussion around it and been done as it was. It should not be a reaction to what's happening nationally as our children are being educated. So even if it's an in-school day and they're allowed to go out and protest, I don't know what that means about the teaching ranks or who will be there, how you have a real productive day, which is what our children need every day that they're in school.
I
So
agree 1,000% with that, man.
that's my thought. So, but thank you, man.
I'll enjoy y'all day, man.
I always appreciate you. Thank you, and thank you for those songs. It does. That's what I said. And every time you hear a Michael Jackson song, Candace, it's what the last one was the best one because he did put some good stuff out there. And to Lee's point, if you just stop and listen to the lyrics of his songs, he's saying something in these songs and saying a lot in a lot of them. One, two. Congratulations to Melody Span Cooper for the award that she got from the Defender. One, to be acknowledged is just a wonderful and incredible thing. And Melody, anytime you hear Melody speak, is going to be, she drops pearls. She's that girl with that knowledge and that flow and just that way of doing things. So congratulations to her. And of course, they should pick it up and they should carry it. And she got the award. There were some others who received big, of course, of her girlfriends who received big awards that same evening. Toy Salter got a big award that evening as well. So congratulations certainly to Boss Lady, but to all of them who acknowledged that.
For all of them, yeah. And we do apologize for the audio. That was the clip that was posted.
They got to do better than that. Call somebody and tell them they just got to do better.
I didn't have that was the other people's. That's what they put on their page, and so
You just pick it up from there.
I didn't create the clip or the video, but I just wanted to acknowledge, our very own CEO Melody Span Cooper because the speech was, she thanked, her husband Pierre Cooper, and she thanked her family, and like you said, it was just really nice. And every time you hear Melody speak, it is very powerful.
It is. Renee Criswell, by the way, Renee says They Don't Really Care About Us is one of her favorite songs, and Butterflies was a great stepping song that was underrated by the critics.
Very good song. Our next video, I know I posted last week on our socials about the birthday of Mayor Harold Washington, but one of your favorite guests, Rhyme Fest, he posted a short video. And I just wanted to play that because, of course, he deserves his flowers. Titus?
I guess
they don't spend all their time garrulsing around. They have to pull back and think and reflect and get their batteries charged. They may like people, they may deal with people, they may function with people, but they're basically and fundamentally loners. And that's true in politics, it's true in art, it's true in science. It's probably true in the entertainment world. But most.
Can you start that from the beginning again, baby?
Baby, can you do that, baby?
Powerful people who have real integrity and real character are loners. They don't spend all their time garrulsing around. They have to pull back and think and reflect and get their batteries charged. They may like people, they may deal with people, they may function with people, but they're basically and fundamentally loners. And that's true in politics, it's true in art, it's true in science, it's probably true in the entertainment world.
So pretty much he was just, Mayor Harold Washington was saying most powerful people
are loners. Yeah. They don't spend their time out gallivanting. They spend time in reflection and recharging. And, who will be anybody to argue with Mayor Harold Washington, one of the most powerful people? One of the interesting things, if you ever saw pictures of his apartment You also saw pictures of books every place. So it's one of those things that he was up, he was out. We got to know him very well as mayor, doing mayoral stuff. But that's kind of, he was working a lot, and that's what he did. And he was powerful in that way. And there's a lesson to learn from what we saw, and certainly a lesson to learn from what he shared. Thanks for sharing that with us, Candace. Let's take a quick break, find out what's going on in headline news from Annette. We'll be back more of the 411 right after this.
$69. Grab your umbrella. The National Weather Service says we could see rain on this Friday, April 24th, 2026. I'm Annette Flournoy, and in the headlines, Ohio State's Carnell Tate, a Chicago native, was drafted number 4 overall in the first round of the NFL draft and honored his mother, who died in a West Side shooting back in 2023. Chicago leaders are set for a major groundbreaking ceremony later today for the Southside CTA Red Line expansion project. Today is Arbor Day, and Chicago State University is honoring the day with a big tree planting event. Today's headlines are powered by our friends at ComEd. Be sure to bring the young people in your life, 6 to 16, to the Chicago Read-In, 11 a.m. till 2 tomorrow on Saturday at the Harold Washington Cultural Center at 47th and King Drive. It's about culture, it's about literacy, and it's about storytelling, and it's free. National news from the Black Information Network is next on Chicago's original social media platform, 1690 AM, WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 8:01.
EIN News Now. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has signed a bill banning cities and counties from funding DEI programs. Sponsor Clay Yarbrough.
Hillsborough County paid $572,000 for an external contract that included training that taught staff from several departments that their prejudice is outside their control when it comes to race, ethnicity, and gender.
Supporters say the move prevents division. The Justice Department has indicted the Southern Poverty Law Center on fraud charges. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said the SPLC secretly funneled over $3 million in donations to extremist groups. The group denies the allegations. And Leon Smith, a Black high school history teacher from Pennsylvania, has been named the 2026 National Teacher of the Year. With 25 years at Haverford High School, Smith blends history, identity, and civic engagement in his classroom. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Here's more with Terry McCready.
President Trump says the ceasefire in Lebanon will be extended by 3 weeks. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said he had meetings yesterday with Israeli and Lebanese representatives. He said the existing truce between the two countries will be extended. Israel has been battling Hezbollah militants in southern Lebanon since the war between Iran and the U.S. began. He says Iran has been hit hard.
Their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft is gone. All of their anti-aircraft machinery is gone. Maybe they loaded up a little bit.
The negotiations come as talks between the U.S. and Iran have stalled over a U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz.
There is zero reason for us to trust Kash Patel. Why is he still around as the FBI director? He is clearly and deeply flawed and unqualified. And many Republicans know it.
The Black House Minority Leader says House Democrats might not support an extension of the government's warrantless spy powers as long as FBI Director Kash Patel remains in place. Hakeem Jeffries' comments suggest another significant obstacle on the path to extending FISA's spying powers, which expire next week. Currently, there is bipartisan opposition to the measure unless it is amended to include tougher privacy protections for Americans. The Justice Department is moving forward with a push to strip some naturalized citizens of their status. The department confirming the effort yesterday, and it follows reporting from the New York Times that roughly 384 cases were referred for denaturalization litigation. It's an unusual push, as denaturalization typically comes when someone committed fraud in pursuit of immigrating to the U.S. or if they committed certain disqualifying crimes. The process is typically carried out by attorneys specializing in immigration, but the DOJ has already begun assigning cases to U.S. attorney offices across the country. Possession of a significant amount of child sex abuse images on an iCloud storage account. That's what prosecutors revealed in a hearing yesterday, days after singer David was charged with the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The 21-year-old performer, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, pleaded not guilty to multiple charges, including murder, continuous sexual abuse, and mutilation of human remains. In the teen's death, she was found dismembered in the trunk of Burke's impounded Tesla in September, but officials believe she died last April. All right, Pope Leo held an open-air mass in Equatorial Guinea yesterday in front of tens of thousands of followers. It was his first major international tour that commenced with scrutiny from President Trump over his stance on Iran. The leader of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics visited the Central African nation for a couple of days, where he focused on suppression of civic freedoms and called for more humane treatment of prisoners in a country known for brutal penitentiaries. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow BIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
This report is brought to you by ComEd, powering lives. Here's a great savings idea. Did you know you've got the power to manage your energy? Yep, from usage alerts to energy-saving programs and more. ComEd has all kinds of ideas to help you gain control over your energy-saving costs. Find out more at ComEd.com/energy savings.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Before hot winds. Ooh, let's heat things up. Get fired up with Hot Winds, a new game from the Illinois Lottery. Learn how to play at IllinoisLottery.com. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
Drummer-composer Mike Reed and a powerhouse ensemble of fellow Chicago improvisers explore the legacy of Chicago avant-garde jazz bassist Fred Hopkins on Friday, May 1st at Symphony Center. Before the concert, gather with members of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra African American Network in Granger Ballroom to celebrate Chicago's jazz scene. More at cso.org/AAN. That's cso.org/AAN.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Bond TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Bond TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Autism is not one story. It's many unique journeys that deserve to be seen, heard, and understood. This Saturday on the Community Health Focus Hour, host Carl West and UChicago medicine experts will look at autism in our community, embracing every unique journey. Hear perspectives from community leaders and an adult on the autism spectrum, sharing their personal journey. Listen this Saturday at 1 p.m. on WVON and Facebook Live. The Community Health Focus Hour, Saturdays at 1 p.m., powered by the Urban Health Initiative of UChicago Medicine at the forefront.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Inbound Ryan, slightly better, but still heavy at a 32-minute trip in from 95th Street into downtown. Both the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial still moving along very close to the posted speed. If you're on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, that trip from 67th Street to Jackson just bumped up to 17 minutes. Hollywood to Monroe, still about a 16-minute trip. The Stevenson 40 in from I-355 to DuSable Drive, 40 traveling out. The Eisenhower, a 50-minute trip in from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. You want to factor in a new crash at 25th. Outbound, a 40-minute trip. And the Kennedy, no changes. Still 33 in from O'Hare to downtown, a 36-minute trip to the airport. Cloudy skies, the National Weather Service says more than likely we will see showers later today. Temperatures topping out in the low 70s. We're up to 68 at O'Hare, 68 in Olympia Fields, and 68 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The Chicago Blues Festival is more than a festival. It's a celebration of culture, rhythm, and legacy. We'll see you in Millennium Park June 4th through the 7th. We're WVON.
I'll play the blues. WVON.
Celebrating 63 years of social impact and still leading the conversation. We're WVON, taking what's happening in Chicago to the world. Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Rufus Williams on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
You wonder how we do it. It's just one simple rule. I'm just cool. Baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Hey. R-U-F-U-S. What's that spell? R-U-F-U-S. I'm just cool. Baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Sing it, baby. R-U-F-U-S. What's that thing? R-U-F-U-S. That spell cool.
Cool. Cool.
The audio genius. The audio genius. The audio genius.
Welcome back. You know, WVON is going to be in these streets. There's a lot going on. No one should be home this weekend. Tonight, you want to be with a Tebow, with LaDonna, up at the Black Ensemble Theater. They do it like none other. And the Jackie Wilson story is just phenomenal. Go check them out. Tomorrow, the Chicago Read-In at the Harold Washington Cultural Center. Cleopatra is leading that. You want to be there, register, make sure you're there. Tomorrow as well, I will be at the forum, the UIC forum for the Alzheimer's Release the Silence event. Please, those who you know who are dealing with it, come over, join us, get some information, share some information, be part of what's going on there. And on Monday, I will be at the Logan Center. You heard us with Orbit Davis earlier this week. It's International Jazz Day. Sketches of Spain Revisited. You want to make sure you check that out. And also on Sunday is the 1911 fashion show. My good brother Cortland was on earlier talking about that as well. So a lot going on. It is Chicago. It is spring or summer or construction season, whatever you want to call it. But there's a lot happening. Don't stay home. You'll regret it because we're going to talk about it and we're going to tell you all how great everything was, and you'll be sad if you weren't there. Anyway, back to the 411. Candace, what else do you have for us?
And I do want to mention that I will be at the Jackie Wilson story tonight and at the Chicago Read-In tomorrow.
There
So
you
I'll
go.
be out here in these streets as well.
In these streets. The only person who's not out is Matt, who will probably be everywhere because he is no matter what. He did his thing last weekend with Regina Bell. So, yeah, WVON is in these streets. Make sure you join us.
So two things that I want to mention before we get to our question of the day is Mary J. Blige. I don't know if you've heard. She has a residency. She will be having a residency in Las Vegas coming up. So that
no more drama in her life.
And something else that is not as enjoyable, but I've been seeing on my timeline this last week, and I want to know if anybody else has seen this, but a lot of people are posting young black teenagers or young black people fighting in restaurants and on the street, and it's bothering me because I think that's just unnecessary to post.
Well, it's unnecessary to post, and if it's happening, it's unnecessary to do. So, folks, go get your kids, and let's stop all that madness and try to give some reflections of some good stuff that's happening with us, because there's a lot of that. I got a note just a little while ago about Urban Prep. They're having their 17th signing day, 17 years in a row. All of their graduates have been admitted to a 4-year college. All their graduates are all black men. So the good stuff is what we need to be talking about. The good reflections is what we need to see, and that's what needs to be going. I don't think I need to say this, but 773-591-1690. Give us a call. Be part of the conversation. I know it seems like I don't take a lot of calls because I probably don't anymore, but we do on Friday morning, so we love to hear from you. What else you have for us, Candace?
All right, so here's the question of the day, and I know, Rufus, this may be a little bit out of your wheelhouse, but this comes up a lot in conversations today in 2026, and it's conversations that I've had with Titus, with my parents, and it is, why do people think that men and women can strictly just not be platonic friends? And that boggles my mind because I've had two good friends who are male. One, my best friend of 8 years, he passed away in 2021. And then I would say the next one is Titus. And
Really?
oh,
Touching. I'm touched. This is so touching.
and people assume that because you're close, I call Titus often. I talk to him about a lot of things that's going on. He's been out to my parents' house. He's been out to my house, and people will sit there and ask, like, is something going on between you and Titus? Or when I was best friends with my best friend, like I said, that passed away, something. And I'm like, no, like, it is possible. It is so possible to be friends with the opposite sex. There's never been any type of attraction, almost, could've, would've, should've, none of that goofy stuff. Just strictly friends. So, Titus, I just want to know your opinion. Why is this a thing still in 2026? Even, I would say, with my guy, I even tell my guy, like, if I am going out with Titus and somebody else, I'll tell him, like, this is who's with me. Is it okay? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I respect my guy enough to even tell him Titus has been around when my guy is over my parents' house. And I'll tell him, Titus is coming over, or whoever else is coming over. So I just want to know people's thoughts.
Titus, weigh in.
Okay. Wow. I'm honored, Candace. Thank you very much. That means a lot. You know how I feel about you, so it's all good. But I think that men and women can be platonic best friends. I have Candace. I have a few women friends in my life. I have one of my best friends. Her name is Bianca. As you know, you guys met her before. And yeah, she's a woman, and there's no like attraction or nothing like that. We just talk and we just hang out, and you just meet good people in your life, whether they're male or female, that you can be friends with. And Candace, I do get those same things of when are y'all gonna get together, or do she like you, or do you like her, or this, then the third. And I think it's one of those things where some people feel like men and women can't be friends. Others think that it's possible. But I think it's one of those things where it's sometimes a gray area where people feel like more so, well, it's got to be something going on because you wouldn't be doing all this for a guy. And it's weird because it's like, well, I would. I have no problem doing anything like this with a guy or for a guy, or stuff like that. Well, some things, like buying them lunch or something like that. But other than that, I mean, there's no problem. I would do the same things I would for a guy with a girl. So it's just, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where if you're not in it or you don't understand it, is because you probably don't have that going on in your life versus other people. But I think it's a perception thing more than anything.
All right, so this may predate you both, but there was a movie that came out in 1989 called When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, I've seen it.
Classic. I know it's a classic.
It is a classic where they ask the basic question, can men and women be just friends if at some point they realize they're perfect for one another? When Harry Met Sally. Look, let's take a quick break. 773-591-1690. Get into the conversation. We'll be right back right after this.
I know you're going to dig this.
Yeah, I was saying this earlier. I said when white people don't like something, they just remove it.
Or change it.
Yeah, they that's what they do. But where was the dude that was redacting stuff during the Puffy trial? I'm like, some stuff I didn't need to know. Like rubbing somebody's manhood on your chest. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I might forgive you, but you'll never be able to drink nothing yellow ever again. Not ever. Not lemonade, not after the damn show, not that soda called Squirt. That could never happen. It is the D.L. Hughley Show.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connects to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Hey, it's Cleopatra Draper. Join me for the Midday Show weekdays at 9 a.m. where we'll sip and spill all the tea. Do you want it hot or cold? Either way, we're serving up the flavor of the day. Weekdays at 9 a.m. right here on the station giving you what's now and what's next. 1690 WVON.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Beauty is more than style, it's a story, and now you get to hear it straight from the source. Solo Beauty Supply presents the Hair Tour radio show, coming to WVON Saturdays beginning May 2nd at 2 p.m. From Chicago to the West Coast, top salon owners pull back the curtain on the business, the culture, and the grind behind the chair. From building brands to shaping communities, this is where beauty meets boss moves. Tune in, tap in, and take notes. The Hair Tour radio show, Saturdays beginning May 2nd at 2 p.m. only on WVON.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
DuSable Lakeshore Drive, not bad this morning. Still about a 17-minute trip in from 67th Street to Jackson as you make your way from Hollywood to Monroe, 16 minutes. Turning to the Ryan, now 25 minutes from 95th Street to downtown. Getting to the Ryan along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, still pretty close to the posted speed. If you're on the Stevenson, expect 40 minutes in from I-355 to DuSable Drive 40 traveling out. The Eisenhower covering from an earlier accident at 25th, still about 50 minutes. From Thorndale to the Burns Circle, that outbound trip now 45. And the Kennedy, no changes. 33 in from O'Hare to downtown, getting to the airport, 36-minute trip. Taking a look at our skies. We're looking at some gray skies this morning, a little humid. The National Weather Service says grab that umbrella. It looks like we're likely to have showers later today. Right now, it is 69 at Midway, 69 in Evergreen Park, and 69 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Illinois on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
No. Hey, Titus, what's up? Okay, we'll do. Welcome back. So, Candace, tell them that it's human nature. Can guys and girls just be friends? It's such an interesting question, particularly now because there's a lot more acceptance in society of same-sex relationships. So how do you know? People are friends just as people are friends. People love who people love. We got some callers on the line to talk about this or something that we talked about today. I do want to make sure I make people aware as well. I will be tomorrow at the Alzheimer's Association Release the Silence event. It's taking place at the UIC Forum right there at Halsted and Roosevelt Road. It's going on tomorrow morning from 10 till 2. Be there. So we got a couple callers on the line. Candace, Philip, good morning. Welcome to VON. What's on your mind this morning?
Morning. How you doing?
Great.
Yeah, I believe you could be friends. We got to die to this flesh. It can be done. We just don't want to, or we don't have self-control.
Okay. You got some history or some story you want to tell us that goes along with that, Philip?
Yeah, my first daughter's mother, me and her are cool. We didn't break up on bad terms or nothing like that. Me and my wife hang out with her and her husband.
Okay.
And, and it's cool. It ain't, we make stuff more than it is.
All right. Don't disagree with you at all. Thanks, Phillips. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate you. Mama D, good morning. Welcome to VON. What's on your mind this morning?
Well, God rising. My fourth husband and I were guest panelists on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Mama, did you say your fourth husband? Number 4?
Shape up or ship out. Just because some man made you cry does not mean you should never laugh again.
Okay, Mama D.
And the subject was, can opposite sex be friends? And the conclusion was, herself said that I stole the Oprah Winfrey Show because she changed the subject to intellectual things. It was nice having that limousine sent to your car, sent to your house to pick you up. Oh, really interesting. But in conclusion, you can be friends. Now, I said he was a writer and I was a writer, so we had that in common. But your husband is your overall companion. So that was what we concluded at the end of the show.
All right, Mama D, the lover. Who knew? Thanks, Mama D. Thanks for your call. Michael O'Connor, good morning. Welcome to VON. What's on your mind this morning, my friend?
Interesting. You had me behind Mama D, and she and I are friends, even if I don't agree with her politically most of the time. I consider her a friend, and I do believe that men and women can be friends. I had friends. I had women friends all my life, and by the way, I'm going way back. I think it was 1979. I was a Sigma Gamma Rho sweetheart.
Okay. That's quite an honor. That's quite an honor. So yeah, there you have it. There you have it. What else you have for us, Candace, before we get out of here?
Now, of course, we've been talking about Michael Jackson because
Stop laughing and talk, please.
I am. I
I'm
just
still
said we've been
stuck on the
talking
four
about
husbands.
Michael
I'm not gonna lie to you.
What?
There's a lot. There's a lot going on this morning. Go on, Candace.
Okay, so we've been talking about MJ because the movie comes out. But did anybody talk about? Did you talk about Rufus this week? Prince.
No. Should I have?
I think the 21st was his 10-year anniversary
Of his death.
of his death.
You are correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, there's been so many tributes that I've been seeing throughout the week. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm sorry, y'all, but I know there's been the whole Prince and Michael Jackson debate for years and years. I grew up in a household that was a Prince household. So that, I mean, Michael Jackson, of course, there's no debating that. But Prince was it for me, and I have a whole playlist, two playlists of Prince that I listen to when I need my little fix. But I don't know if you talked about that, but yes.
We move really quickly in the 2 hours that we have. We did not talk about Prince this week. My mother was a huge Prince fan, which shocked me. But my mom loved her some Prince, and actually Terry Bishop put up "Dirty Diana," which we talked about from Michael Jackson. And the first thing I thought about was "Naughty Nikki" from Prince.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot. And actually last night during the game, which was played in Minnesota, as they showed the skyline view, they showed a really big poster of Prince as well in that view, which I caught last night.
Yeah, two great men who gave us amazing, incredible music, and they both are truly missed. So
Yep, gone too young in both cases, and will all the debate will continue forever, and appropriately so. They should be discussed. They should be remembered, and they gave us some really, really good and interesting things to go on. As Renee says, Prince and Michael, two musical geniuses and caring humanitarians, both gone too soon, and both by suspicious means. Candace, thank you for the 411. Let's do this. Let's find out from Annette what's going on in the news. When we come back, there's a play at the Steppenwolf Theater, Windfall. The artistic director and the lead actor, Glenn Davis, is going to join me to talk about it. We'll be back right after this.
.69 degrees and possible storms headed our way. Good morning. I'm Annette Flurnoy, and here's what's happening. A group of Chicago public school parents are upset and pushing back on school-sanctioned May Day activities in Springfield. Perry Williams explains.
Parent Judy Velez is concerned about the safety of children who volunteer to attend a planned rally at Union Park on May 1st.
Heaven forbid one child gets lost, that one thing happens to them. At an event that they have sanctioned, who will be held liable? CTU, CPS, principals, the board, nobody knows.
Other issues from the parent group include teachers getting paid during school hours to lobby lawmakers. I'm Perry Williams.
Chicago leaders are set for a major groundbreaking ceremony later today for the Southside CTA Red Line expansion project. The $5.7 billion project will extend the Red Line train from 95th Street to 130th, giving riders on the far south side faster connection to the city, as well as more investment. Now, the ceremony starts at 12:30 at 115th in Michigan. Today is Arbor Day, and Chicago State University is honoring the day with a tree planting event on the south side. Now, with the help of the Arbor Day Foundation and Open Lands, as many as 130 trees will be planted in high-impact communities, including the CSU campus. This initiative aims to improve air quality, manage stormwater, and provide social benefits by ensuring access to green spaces. Well, there's lots of excitement around the Chicago Bears last night. They nabbed Indiana native Dylan Thiemann in the first round of the NFL draft. He's considered to be a critical piece in an already stellar team. GM Ryan Poles is pleased with the safety,
He's extremely smart, great leader, violent in the way that he plays the game, everything that we're looking for. Then on top of that, you have some versatility. If he has to, you can go over and play a little bit of nickel. He can play free, he can play strong.
They have 3 more picks in draft day 2 tonight. Well, Ohio State's Carnell Tate, a Chicago native, was drafted number 4 overall in the first round of the NFL draft last night and honored his mother, who was tragically killed in a West Side drive-by shooting back in 2023. Now, since then, Tate has carried his mother's memory into every game, famously blowing a kiss to the sky after touchdowns as a tribute to the woman he called his best friend. And you don't want to miss WVON's night at the Jackie Wilson Story this evening at the Black Ensemble Theater, 4450 North Clark Street. This outstanding history-making production delivers a soulful tribute to Mr. Excitement. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 8:35.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
I'm Lori Smith. This week on Meeting the Moment, I'm sitting down with Emmy Award-winning journalist Brandon Pope, president of the Chicago chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists, and Lucretia Kindred, executive director of Bright Star Community Outreach. We're talking about something every leader, creator, and communicator is wrestling with right now. How do you shape your story in a crowded environment when everybody's talking, but not everybody's being heard? How do you cut through the noise without losing your mission's focus? Tune in to Meeting the Moment, powered by the Chicago Community Trust, Saturday at 12 noon, right here on 1690 WVON.
It's time to focus with Robert McKay. Quality conversation, protecting, preserving, and preparing our past, present, and future. Sunday evenings at 4 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Got a 3, got a 2, got a 1. Yes! Tune in Friday, 9 to midnight for The Fundamentals, where I, Titus T. Del Williams, bring the mental.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
And I, DJ Turbine Arturo Garza, bring the fun.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
So if you want some wacky,
some good conversation,
but some fun,
and a little serious,
for all your sports needs, tune in to The Fundamentals.
Friday nights, 9 to midnight. We'll see you there.
You like that? You like that?
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're seeing an improvement in your travel times across the board, starting with the Ryan, a 23-minute trip now from 95th Street into downtown. Getting to the Ryan along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, still no problem. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, 17 minutes still from 67th Street to Jackson, Hollywood to Monroe, a 16-minute trip. The Eisenhower still 40 from I-355 to DuSable Drive, 40 traveling out. The Eisenhower much better, down to 45 minutes from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. That outbound trip still just about 40. And the Kennedy doing better in both directions. In from O'Hare to downtown, now a 30-minute trip getting to the airport, 30 as well. Taking a look at our weather, we're seeing some muggy conditions. The National Weather Service says we could see rain later today with temperatures topping out somewhere in the low 70s. We're almost there. It's 69 at O'Hare, 69 in South Chicago, and 69 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey, Titus.
I got it. We're good. She sent the press release real late, but I got it. He's on.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Welcome back. The Steppenwolf Theater on Halsted, just north of North Avenue, always has these phenomenal productions, phenomenal actors, and there's one that just doesn't miss anything that's going on now. It's called Windfall. It's running currently through the 31st of May. I had an opportunity to see it last Sunday, and yep, mind blown. A whole lot going on. We have joining us this morning the artistic director and actually the lead actor in Windfall, or one of the lead actors. Everybody's the lead actor in Windfall. Anyway, Glenn Davis is with us this morning. Glenn, good morning and welcome back to WVON. And that wasn't Glenn. That one, in fact, was a Glenn. You with us?
We lost him for a second. I'm bringing him right back.
All right. This play, I will tell you about it. I mean, it's gone through certainly the reviews that it does. It gets some feedback from the audience, and again, it was media night last Sunday, so I saw it last Sunday evening. It runs for 2 hours, and I will tell you, it is a quick 2 hours. It is a very relatable 2 hours in so many ways. It is filled with intrigue, with drama, with comedy, with surprise. It's quite a production. Glenn Davis, welcome back to WVON.
Yes, thank you. You hear me?
I can now.
Great. Thank you, Rufus, for having me. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm very excited that you had a chance to see it on our press night. So thank you for coming out.
No, thank you for having us, and thank you for the production, and thank you for the acting. I didn't give a whole lot to it, but because I'd rather you do it. What is Windfall about?
Yeah, Windfall is a story about a father who has lost a child and has to make a what he feels like is a moral decision of whether or not to accept a settlement from the city for the loss of his child. He is still believing his child is out there and looking for his child, and the city is telling him something else, and they're offering him financial gain in absence of his child. And so he has to make a moral decision, ethical decision as to whether or not he wants to accept the money, in which case he would also be accepting that his child is gone or lost. So yeah, he's at the center of this play, and it's a story about activism. It's a story about capitalism and morality. So yeah, that's the gist of it.
I'm going to tell you what's interesting, because I'm looking right now at the website, and I'm looking at Windfall on the Steppenwolf website, and it says about the show. It says, this is a story about money. And as we talk about that, and as we watch it, and as I reflect on what it was a story about, yes, you and your character, Marcus, made clear that that's what this was about. But there was so much more in this story as it came together, and in the way in which you all told it. So, Glenn, how does that happen? Who has the idea that this story should be told in the way in which you all shared it?
Well, that's a great question. Terrell Alvin McCraney, he is the genesis of this story. He is the writer. He's a phenomenal playwright and one of the great writers of his generation. You probably know him from the film Moonlight, which he wrote and won the Oscar for. He's written countless plays that have gone to New York and Chicago and Los Angeles and London, but he's a phenomenal playwright. So he's also happens to be my best friend and producing partner, and I came to him and said, would you be willing to write a play for Steppenwolf's 50th anniversary season? Myself and Audrey Francis are the artistic directors of Steppenwolf, and so we thought that if Terrell would write something for our 50th, it would be the sort of centerpiece of that season. And so he was thrilled to do it, and he said, what type of play are we looking for? And we said, we want you to write the play that you're scared to write. And that's what he gave us. And I think it's beautiful and brilliant and poignant, timely, and also funny. you hear the subject matter and you think, okay, this is going to be a dark evening in the theater. And there's a lot of laughter, a lot of humor, a lot of recognition for people. People after performance last night, someone came up to me and said, I saw my father. Made me want to call him, made me think about him and have him come see this play. So yeah, it's a story about money. Don't let them tell you otherwise. But at the same time, it's about family, familial obligation, and morality.
So much in there. Morality. You get into everything. You get into why the child was in the streets. You get into the whole issue of unhoused and encampment. You get into the issue of authorities around the city. How were you able to do this kind of a play here in the city? And I'm going to have to imagine, because Steppenwolf brought you in as the artistic director, we're seeing a lot of the flavor that you bring to it, and they must have known what they were getting when they decided to bring you in.
Yeah, Steppenwolf historically is a theater company that has made its name because of its ability to push the envelope, to do plays that other theaters might shy away from, to the sort of voraciousness of our company members. And historically, we have had countless plays go on to be recognized outside of Chicago, like I said, some of those places, London, New York, Los Angeles, Australia, and people really come to Steppenwolf because they say, hey, you guys are the ones who are really challenging audiences in a real way. You're not just doing it by rote. You're not just picking plays that everyone else is doing. You're going out of your way to find plays and find artists that are at the center of culture and wanting to really challenge audiences in a dynamic way. And so, in our 50-year history, if you look at some of the plays we've done, those are the plays that more times than not have had the most success. We did a play called Purpose, as you probably know, last season on Broadway, and won a Tony Award and Pulitzer Prize for it, and countless other awards. But that show is really only one that Steppenwolf could have produced and put on. So I think that historically plays like Downstate and King James and others, Augustus Stage County over the years, their genesis is a Steppenwolf because of the amazing artists associated with the company. And in this case, it was Terrell Alvin McCraney.
When you mentioned that he was behind Moonlight, then it all just makes sense what this is, why this is, and how this came to be. In Moonlight, I recall seeing the premiere of that here in an audience in Chicago, and he sat and talked about it, and just thinking about all that comes out of Steppenwolf. Yeah, this makes sense. There's a reason why folks should have subscriptions, and a reason certainly why you should make sure that you go and see this particular production. Now, Glenn, you brought a lot out in your character, and Marcus, in your character in the play as well. That aspect of how the story gets told, and how the story gets told about money, and how good you were in doing that, by the way, also added so much to the flavor of the evening. Talk about Marcus's character in this production.
Well, thank you for that, Rufus. Well, Terrell, one of Terrell's many gifts is that he can write for specific voices. He wrote this play with myself, Alana Arenas, John Michael Hill, and Namir Smallwood all in mind. He knows how words sound best coming out of our mouths. And every writer can do that, but Terrell has that specific gift. And so as he was creating the play itself, he was listening to us as we talked about the play and as we talked about money and capitalism and activism and family. And he said, okay, I want to tune this to each one of these actors' voice. So in my case, he and I have talked a lot about money over the years, and my character, as you alluded to, is the sort of primary thrust in terms of trying to get him to see my point of view, and that is he should take the money.
Take the money.
So I'm pushing him, and he just knew how those words would fall out of my mouth in a real way, in a dynamic way. And it felt like a tailored suit for me as I stepped into the role. And Terrell had sort of plotted out what my character's thoughts, ideas, notions were about the world, money, and something. We're not giving away too much here, but my character is, in a sense, not really there, and so he's visiting Mono several times throughout the play, and persistent in trying to get him to recognize that if he takes the money, it will make his life so much easier.
Yeah, and it seems, as you point out, that you weren't really acting. That was what we saw was the real Glenn Davis, who's performing there in this play. And Titus, you'll be excited to know he was wearing a White Sox cap throughout the full time. We're talking to Glenn Davis. He's the artistic director at Steppenwolf, also a lead actor in the play Windfall that's going on now, playing through May 31st currently. We'll have more with Glenn right after this.
Illinois politicians did it again. They secretly tucked bad policy into the budget. Now, guess who pays the price? Servers, drivers, stylists, workers who depend on tips. Unless Springfield fixes this mistake, your credit and debit cards may not work to pay sales tax or tips, starting July 1st. Tell Springfield, stop the credit card chaos law. Learn more at guardyourcard.com/Illinois, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
At ComEd, we create financial assistance programs with you in mind. It's one reason we created SAM, our smart assistance manager, to help families like yours take control of their energy bills. SAM can help you find financial assistance and payment options. Discover programs like budget billing, due date extensions, deferred payment arrangements, and more. You may be relieved to discover what you're eligible for. Learn more at ComEd.com/SAM. ComEd, powering lives.
You're invited to the Chesterfield Community Council's Greater Chatham Communities Home Expo. Join us Saturday, April 25th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Tuley Park, 90th and King Drive. This exciting community event will connect residents with valuable resources and experts to help strengthen and invest in our homes and neighborhoods. What you'll find at the expo: home improvement programs, property tax relief information, resources for home buyers, utility assistance programs, dynamic educational seminars, opportunities to connect with contractors, and so much more. Whether you're a current homeowner, planning to buy, or looking for ways to improve your property, this event is designed with you in mind. Don't miss it. Please join us on Saturday, April 25th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Tuley Park, 90th and King Drive. We look forward to seeing you there. Sponsored in part by Neighborhood Housing Services, ComEd, Providence Bank, Seaway Self-Help, and State Farm Insurance, Don Hines.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over 400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got 10 million, Broadview 6 million, Burnham 3 million, South Holland 17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Things continue to improve along the inbound Ryan, down to 22 minutes from 95th Street into downtown. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial and the Bishop Ford still pretty close to the posted speed. That northbound trip along DuSable Lakeshore Drive still just about 17 minutes from 67th Street to Jackson, 16 from Hollywood to Monroe. If you're on the Stevenson, you're looking at a 40-minute trip in from I-355 to DuSable Drive outbound 30. Give yourself 45 along the Eisenhower from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 40 on the return trip. And the inbound Kennedy, you want to factor in a new crash right now is blocking the right lane there at Pulaski Road, bumping up your travel time in from O'Hare to downtown to 40 minutes. Getting to the airport, still a 30-minute trip. Taking a look at our weather, a few clouds this morning. The National Weather Service says keep the umbrella handy. Rain is expected in our area later today. But right now it's 69 at O'Hare, 69 in South Chicago, and 69 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Illinois on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's revolutionary. It feels fresh, it feels current, and it feels necessary.
The acting is amazing. The raw and pure emotion and talent on the stage just screams throughout the entire theater.
Terrell Allen McCraney is really awesome to begin with. His work is always heightened. His work is always engaging. So I was just really happy to be here.
Don't miss it. Come see it now before it leaves.
That is the trailer for Windfall, which is playing at the Steppenwolf Theater. You want to check it out. It's only going to be there, currently scheduled through May 31st. We're talking with the artistic director at the Steppenwolf, Glenn Davis, this morning, who's also one of the key actors here in the play Windfall. And Glenn, I have to tell you, Verette Mims is a friend of mine. I talked to Verette coming in. She was also one of the sponsors of this production. She was pretty excited about this happening, and I wondered if she was nervous as we were all going in to see it, although she never shows any of that. But it was just a wonderful, wonderful production. Did this come out in the way when you conceived it in your conversation initially? Did it end in the way in which you thought it would be?
Well, first off, Verette Mims is amazing. I love her, so
yeah.
I'm thrilled that she joins us as a production sponsor on the show. I think that whenever you're doing a new play, it hasn't been tested before. You don't know what the outcome. You have no reasonable expectations for the outcome because it's all happening in real time. And as I was mentioning before, because he was writing it for specific people, myself, Alana, John Michael Hill, who had just done Purpose, we're all very good friends, and then Namir Smallwood as well, who had just come off of Broadway doing Bug. We felt like we had the best cast to deliver to Terrell what he had envisioned. He and Boye Temple, our director. So I felt confident that we would have something pretty remarkable. I just didn't know what it would look like in the end. And I think that given where we started and the initial thrust of the show, I think that we exceeded our expectations in terms of what we thought it might look like afterwards. So I feel great about the eventual outcome of the show.
Well, I didn't know what to expect, and you exceeded my expectation as well. So this was
Good.
this was good. We did this before, Glenn. This is the 50th anniversary of Steppenwolf. You're there as the artistic director. Just give us briefly what your journey was, how you got there, because we know, and one of the beautiful things of Steppenwolf is you go and you just mentioned the mirror. We always see somebody that we just saw in a movie on television or someplace. See, yeah, I saw that guy at Steppenwolf. But what was your journey to get there as the artistic director?
Yeah, so I grew up in Chatham on the south side of Chicago, and got into the arts my final year in high school, and then went on to drama school at DePaul University, the theater school at DePaul, where I met Terrell Alvin McCraney, where I met Alana Arenas, who are two of my closest friends today, obviously. And then I I went off to other markets to continue my craft. I went to study Shakespeare in Canada and London, and then moved to Los Angeles and began working in film and television. Then eventually coming back to New York and Chicago to do plays. So I did quite a few plays in New York and Chicago over the years while living in Los Angeles. And then in 2017, Steppenwolf asked me to become a member of the company. And being from Chicago, that was sort of just a high watermark for any Chicago actors to be asked to join one of these amazing theater companies. For me, it was Steppenwolf. That was the company that had this long-standing relationship with over the years, doing Terrell's plays and others. And then in 2021, I was asked to become the artistic director along with Audrey Francis. And I was living in Los Angeles, and I said, you know what? It would be amazing to come back home for this very reason. And so now I've been here since 21. So it was like those 5 years went by so quickly, and I'm having such an amazing time programming plays, being the face of the company nationally and locally, and partnering with folks like Verrett Mims, who's on our board. But yeah, it's been more than I could have ever dreamed. Again, having done Purpose last season and having all the accolades onto Steppenwolf after that show, and then coming back for our 50th anniversary season, doing this show with my closest friend, Terrell Alvin McCraney and Alana. So this is it doesn't get any better than this for me. I'm having such an amazing time being here in my hometown and living out all my dreams artistically.
Man, well, it's great to have you home because you guys are doing great work, and Windfall is just a measure of that as well. Wonderful production, folks. Please go check it out. You will not be disappointed, but you will if you don't. You didn't say, where'd you go to high school, Glenn?
I went to Thornwood High School.
Okay, good enough.
So yeah.
Good enough, close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
All right. Look, Glenn Davis, artistic director, actor, Steppenwolf Theater. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Thank you for all that you bring to our culture. And I think we're supposed to say, as we do in the arts, break a leg.
Thank you, Rufus. I appreciate that, and I definitely will.
All right. Be well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it right there for today. Candace, always appreciate you for the 411. Love the change, love the drift, love what you bring. Annette, thank you for always giving us the information that gets us through the day. And T-Dub, thanks for keeping all these things together. I will see you all tomorrow at the forum for the Alzheimer's event. Again, a lot's going on around WVON, around the city. Join us somewhere, join us everywhere, because we're going to be out in the net. Please don't let this Friday be like last Friday, because I got to get home. I got stuff to do. The weather was funky. I keep hearing you say about the rain. Just keep it easy. And folks, I will ask you, as I always do, when you go through the course of this weekend, you will come across people who are dealing with things that you know absolutely nothing about. So please be kind, always. And with that, Annette, tell us on the headlines, and T-Dub, take us home.
70 degrees with rain headed our way on this Friday, April 24th, 2026. I'm in a